Hey everyone, it's Wyatt, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the best Instagram outreach formula that helped me land my first client within 8 hours and has helped others that I've shared it with land their first client within a day or so. And like I said, this formula is so good that it actually helped me land my first client within 8 hours of starting, so it's safe to say that it does work if you guys follow along with the steps in this video. And I broke it down into 6 easy steps for you guys to follow along with and implement it into your outreach in hopes that you can land your first client too. So let's dive right into it and begin. Step number 1, all you're going to want to do is create a personal profile. It's the easiest step out of all of them. All you have to do is make an Instagram account. I mean, if your little sister can do this, so can you. I believe in you. You're going to kill it. But after that, you're going to want to post 2 to infinity pictures of yourself. It really doesn't matter. And they don't have to be business related. You don't have to go rent out a Lambo, sit next to it with your laptop and show your e-commerce numbers or whatever you are doing, whatever. Get that idea out of your head. Just post some lifestyle pictures. If you go to the gym, post you going to the gym. If you read a lot, post you reading a lot. Whatever it may be, just post it, make your Instagram page connect back into your life. And when it's time to make our bio, we want to avoid saying, I help X achieve Y. I see this all the time when people are just starting up their agency. And if you haven't had a big case study or something to put in there, then it's really not going to be very good, because then you're just pretty much bullshitting your potential client before they even have spoken to you. And that's not good. That creates sales resistance and builds distrust. An example of a good bio, though, is going to be 2 of your hobbies and then your favorite quote that connects back to you and you relate to, because a good quote can tell a lot about a person, but keep that in mind while picking one. And it just has to be a personal profile, as I mentioned, that your potential client can look at and think you're a real person with a real life and that you're not just trying to sell them something immediately. And like I said, we want to seem like a curious customer to our potential client, and I talk about this in a later step as to why. But moving into step number 2 now, we want to actually start to find leads to message, aka just lead scraping. And if you're not familiar with how to lead scrape, all it is just finding leads through IG search and suggested profiles. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, we have to do one thing. If you don't already have it downloaded, you want to download BlueStacks. BlueStacks is just a mobile emulator that is going to allow us to use Instagram on our computer as if we were using it on the mobile version on our phone. And this is because on Instagram, there are certain features that we need to actually do our lead scraping on the mobile app that we can't do on the web browser. So go ahead and pause this video if you have to and download BlueStacks and then download Instagram on it. It shouldn't take you no longer than 5 minutes. And now we're going to open BlueStacks, and I'm actually going to show you how to actually lead scrape. It's a very simple process. All we're going to do now is just open up BlueStacks, head over here, and I was already doing this. But for example, if our niche is rock climbing gyms, we're going to search up rock climbing gyms like this, type it in, and then we're going to go to the account section. And as you can see, we're going to see a bunch of rock climbing gym accounts. And at the end, though, it's going to run out. But don't worry, these are not all the rock climbing gyms there are on Instagram. We're actually going to do what I call suggested profile lead scraping. And in my opinion, this is the best and fastest way to do it. So we're going to go to, this is a bad lead, but let's go up to the top again. So right here, we have a rock climbing gym, right? A bunch of rock climbers, whatever it may be. And then we're going to click this little button next to we're going to click this button next here to the message that has the little plus and the person next to it. And you're going to see we're going to get a bunch more gyms and other things related to rock climbing. Hopefully, we're going to find more rock climbing gyms. I don't know why it's doing that. But right here is Performance Lab, Seed O, and we're going to just use this as our lead, right? So we're going to go to copy profile URL now by clicking the 3 dots up here, right there. And then we're going to actually head over to Google Sheets. And you can get this template free in the RSC public Discord. I really recommend you do that because it's going to keep your outreach organized and simplified and keep you on track. But after you copy your profile URL, you're going to go paste it into here. And we're just going to repeat this process over and over and over. And eventually it's going to look something like this with a bunch of contacted, no messages, engaged, followed up, whatever it may be. It's going to keep it organized and keep all your leads in one spot that you guys can go to actually start messaging them, which leads us right into step number 3. We're going to actually want to leave a genuine comment and connecting us to their post before we start to DM them. Like I said, now that it's actually time to start messaging our leads, we got to do something first before we actually start hitting the DMs. First of all, we want to go on all of our leads that we got and click on their profile, go to their 3 posts, like 3 of them, comment on 1 of them. That's just kind of the general rule of thumb while doing outreach, and it's going to do something that is going to blow your mind in a second here. And rather than just giving them 1 notification in their inbox, we're actually going to have now 4 notifications from our Instagram page. Wyatt Roselli, like 3 of your posts, commented on 1 with a nice, genuine comment. That guy, I'm going to go check his DMs now because it shows interest in their page, especially in a minute. I'm going to show you why we're going to need to get interest in their page. But You just don't want to leave any comment. We want to leave a comment that is genuine, along with connecting the post to you and your story. So if it's a bench press, hey man, that bench press form is amazing. Keep up the work, coaches. You're killing it. That guy's going to be moving 315 soon. My favorite exercise in the gym is bench press as well. Right now, I'm only able to bench 2 plates, but one day I hope I'm as strong as that guy. Keep up the amazing work. And don't say, can you check DMs? Because then they're going to know you're trying to sell them. So avoid that at all costs. But this again makes us look like a curious, engaged customer versus a salesman. Now, step number 4, though, is actually getting the fish on the hook and starting to be able to ready to fillet that fish. Now that we learned how to lead scrape and what to do before we actually start DMing people, which is comment on one post, like 3 of them, and now it's time to start messaging those leads. But we don't want to scare the fish away with a big, long, scary pitch with the first message. What we want to do is send a hook message, and it's going to be a question. And this ties back into step number 1 from earlier, why we want to seem like a curious customer who's interested in their service rather than someone who is a business trying to pitch them in DMs. This is going to get us a better response rate and in return create a much larger funnel for us in order to actually start getting responses in the DMs. And here's an example of a good hook message. Hey, do you teach all ages or only adults? Most of the time, a lot of the businesses are going to reply to this either with a yes, we service ages 3 to 20, or whatever it may be. It's going to be a very good message to get a response provoked out of them. And like I said, this provokes a response that we're looking for. Now it's time for the pitch. And step number 5 is the pitch/trust building. Now, when we do the pitch, we don't want to try and sell them our service right away. We want to sell them our story and start to build trust with our potential client, while still letting them know our intention of helping them in the long run. And how do we do this, you might ask? Well, you want to tell your story, like I mentioned, and that you're trying to do so. If you are just starting, say that, right? And we can do this in 2 ways, with a written message or with my personal favorite of video messages. I have seen a lot better responses with the video messages because it builds that trust and they can actually know who you are just off a video message rather than the 1,000 other people in their DMs just typing words at them, right? If you send a video message, they're going to get caught off guard. They're going to be like, this kid's serious about it, and we're going to probably move forward with them. Not all the time, but it does get better responses, so try it out. And what we want to say on this video message or written message is the following. So when they respond to that the response provoking question, we're going to actually say, that's perfect. Full transparency, I'm an 18-year-old in the process of shaking hands, making connections, and trying to learn and grow my business as I go. And then you're going to insert your backstory, like, I'm a super ambitious, motivated, hardworking person. I wrestled for 4 years. I do jiu-jitsu now. I work out daily, and my dream is to do MMA one day. And then you're going to be like, was wondering if you'd be interested in having me work for free in order to bring more members to your gym. Most of the time, they're going to be like, I'm interested. I'll hear more about it. And this starts to build trust. They know who you are. You're being open with your intentions. You want to help them while you're also helping yourself. And if you're a young entrepreneur, a lot of the time they want to help you succeed. So now the final step, number 6, is actually getting them on the discovery call. And after they see your pitch and they are interested and want to hear more, or they are interested in your service and moving forward, you're going to send a video message being like, what your service is, simplified. So, hey, I run Facebook ads and create online lead generation. Whatever your service is, short form content, whatever you do, just tell them that in a simplified short version and how you can actually help their business grow. And then all we're going to ask is if we can give them a quick phone call, no longer than 5 minutes. Don't ask, would it be all right if I called you today? Say, can I give you a quick phone call, no longer than 5 minutes? Right now, we do not want to waste their time, and we do not want to think that we are going to waste their time. So you want to make it say, I'm going to give you a quick phone call, no longer than 5 minutes. And it probably will end up taking longer than 5 minutes, but we're actually going to get them on the call, and we're going to be able to start talking to them and telling them about our service. That way, like I said, we can explain our service to them in more detail, as well as find out if they would be a good fit for our service or not. And at the end of the call, if they want to move forward and they're ready to move forward, now you just need to schedule an onboarding call. And now you just landed your first client. Congratulations. I'm super proud of you. That was all for this video, though. I hope you enjoyed it and gained 10x the value that I in proportion to the time that I stole from you today. Sorry. And hopefully you can implement some of the steps I mentioned in this video to help you land your first client as well. As always, have a great rest of your day and stay blessed.